Hi everybody, it's Shane from Matrix Personalized Fitness. I'm coming back to you today because I just posted a blog on Wednesday and I wanted to give you a little bit more information about what I spoke about in that blog. So this blog was all about two really important keys that you need to know for your health and how many people don't talk about it. Basically what I was giving away within this blog are some little secrets to get you to know a little bit more about yourself and about how you can be better at creating a more fit lifestyle. So one part of that was knowing that things pretty much lie on a continuum. There really is no good and bad. I gave a nice example of how chocolate cake can be actually a healthful diet thing for some people and harmful to others. In addition, I also talked about how your body actually kind of sabotages yourself when you're trying to create changes around fitness. So read a little bit deeper to get more into that. But what's really comes down to in that blog is about habit change. And the only way to be able to change your habits is to know yourself a little bit better. So as part of that blog, I mentioned really trying to make small changes or being a little bit better every single day. Now, if you want to do this, it's important to know what your natural instinct is when it comes to changing. And so I've recently read a book called Better Than Before. It's by Gretchen Rubin. And she lays out there's 4 different fundamental values essentially that we go through, that we have inherent within us. There's 4 different types of people. And what these are, it's called the questioner, the upholder, the obliger, and the rebel. Now we have, of course, every one of us is a little bit of a blend of each one, but we typically go towards one side specifically. So I'm going to go a little bit more into detail about what these mean and show how that might help you as you're trying to be a little bit better every single day in changing your habits around health and fitness. So personally, I'm a questioner. You can get me or I can get myself to do pretty much anything if there's a good enough reason for it. But I'm going to ask questions, I'm going to dive really deep, I want to understand what I'm doing, why I'm doing it, and then once I'm convinced that it's the right thing to do, it becomes much easier for me to make a change. Now there's a lot of people out there that are like this, so if you consider yourself a questioner, know that about yourself. Collect the data that you need, be comfortable in what you're choosing to do, and then start to roll with it. Next up, that's another huge percentage of the population, are obligers. So obligers are the people who will never do anything for themselves, but they're more than happy to do it if they have set up an appointment or if they owe something to somebody else. They're the general caretakers of the world and things like that. They're the people that like to come for personal training because if they have a responsibility to show up, they're going to be there, and that's what's going to get their workout done. So again, there's nothing good about being either one of these types of people. You just need to recognize who you are so that you can take advantage of it by setting up appointments with friends for your training, getting into groups so that you have to show up or respond to different things surrounding dieting. That's going to be your best approach as an obliger. Now the last 2 are slightly smaller percentages of the population, at least as it normally turns out. The upholder. Now the upholder is the person who does everything perfectly. It's just what they do. I'm going to change, boom, it happens. Somebody asks them to do something, they're going to do it. They're never going to show up late. They're always going to get the job done. They're going to do it well, and they're not going to understand why other people aren't doing the same thing. So for an upholder, they work a little bit differently. The obligers and the questioners, that little bit better every day is probably going to be a really good approach. You can give yourself a very good reason why having a smaller piece of cake might be better, or you can set up an appointment with a friend to show up that day, be present, and get your workout started. With an upholder, they're the type of people that can just go cold turkey. So it's a very different approach. They can go big if they want to. They can say, you know what, that smoking thing, done with it, cut it right off, let it go. So for those of you that are out there that are like that, congratulations. Keep working strong towards your habits. The last group are the rebels. So the rebels are the trickiest of all because not only are they not going to do anything anybody tells them to do, they're not even going to be able to do what they don't tell themselves to do. Basically, if you're a rebel, the best way to surround habit change is you have to build an entire new identity around yourself. But similar to the Upholders, the Rebels are also very, very good at broad, whole-scale changes. To that point, if you have the identity of a video gamer as a Rebel, then that's what you're going to be. You're different from everybody else because you're there playing your games, whatever. If you want to become more active, you have to create an entire new identity. You have to start to tell yourself that I am a person who is active and fit. And as soon as you convince yourself of that change, then all of a sudden, boom, your whole lifestyle changes and you start making everything happen right within that level. But creating that shift in your identity can be very, very challenging. There are some interesting ways out there to do it. So that's a brief little summary of Gretchen's book, but more importantly about how it kind of applies to the latest blog that I had, where I talked about just getting a little bit better every day. It's going to work for a large percentage of us, but if you happen to be an Upholder or a Rebel, there might be some other approaches that you want to take. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please send us an email, give me a phone call. I'd be happy to talk to you about this or any other health and fitness questions that you have. Take care.